If you watched my last video about the fixing art drama that has been happening on Twitter since the inglorious rise of the Studio Ghibli art trend, you would automatically assume you had seen the worst of the Twitter art community. But it truly amazes me how deep the rabbit hole actually goes. From people who have been exposed as domestic abusers making tweets claiming AI art is the future and sharing a generated image of them being proud to be an AI artist, heavy on the air quotes because clearly calling yourself an artist when all you use is AI is totally ridiculous.
Okay, well, I am actually an artist.
Do you think AI art is real art?
I do.
You do?
I do, yeah, I do. Because it's just another way of translating your thoughts and your ideas into just like someone drawing on a digital format, just like someone drawing on a paint, like a piece of paper. Is just another method of a medium of showing or describing what's inside your mind. So I do believe AI art is real art.
A lot of artists would disagree.
I don't care. I don't care. You know, it's my opinion, right? I actually even had this conversation with my husband recently, where we talked about even producing art using AI as a form of art to resell, because I think it's just so beautiful. It's a new way of thinking.
Agree.
Yeah.
And like the prompts is what matters, and like that requires creativity, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I totally agree.
And now people are dogging on artists because they're standing their ground and trying to protect their intellectual property. The only people I see pissed about AI art are butthurt artists who might lose commissions because the AI can do it faster and better. All the crying about stealing is ridiculous and nonsensical. With all the talk about artists lately, I think we should just get rid of them. No more art for anyone. Fuck your art. I love artists, but after following many for years, most of them are just toxic narcissistic weirdos who can't process nuance for shit. The majority of online artists are weirdo loner misanthropes, which is why a lot of them are also some type of political extremists. Reading through Twitter made me realize that myself and some other artists included somehow share similarities with political extremists and people who perpetuate acts of violence outside social media. The more you know. The hate for artists just making drawings for themselves goes even deeper on Twitter. As an artist who happened to share a drawing he made with his little daughter as they shared a moment bonding together over a few pencils and drawing tablets, with the caption saying, "It took me less than a day to make this drawing, and I'm sure my daughter will never forget it or these moments we spent drawing together." I feel sorry for you who will never be able to feel that, while also sharing the drawing process from start to finish for the know-it-all people who will potentially call his drawing AI art and then somehow try to accuse him of generating the image instead of drawing it. The tweet itself had almost 10 million views with a whopping 290,000 likes and counting. The post had a lot of people cheering the artist and praising him for being an awesome dad and role model for us all to follow. And while all this glorious positivity was just casually circulating the atmosphere, guess what happened? Just take a wild guess. I'll give you a few seconds to figure it out. A Twitter user took the artist's private photo and turned it into the Studio Ghibli art style using AI. According to them, this was done in under 5 minutes, so instead of the artist wasting all that time bonding with his daughter over the sound of crayons scratching paper, he should have just used a prompt to generate the image and spend the rest of his day doing something more productive with his time. For the record, fixing an artist's work, manipulating their drawing, or even feeding it into AI in an attempt to self-proclaim make it better is already bad enough. But taking a personal photo of the artist and his daughter, something they took in private, taking that and feeding it to AI just to prove a point, is absurd to me. Why would you even think it's okay to do that? What is even wrong with you? The worst part is the generated image doesn't even look half as good as what the artist drew. It just looks flat and wonky and doesn't even feel as genuine as the artist's drawing. Even the expressions his daughter has look so much better in his drawing than in the generated image. The fixed image instantly went viral and gained nearly 8 million views. People started calling out the person who made the tweet, telling them how bad their generated image was and pointing out areas in the image which didn't make any sense because the AI just couldn't comprehend what was going on in the image. You are the purest proof that artists who spend hours drawing true art are undervalued. you certainly do nothing more than AI drawings. Your AI drawings are despicable, as are those who think this is art. You didn't make anything because you didn't do it, but the machine didn't even do it. It just copied and executed poorly. AI is the only option for those who are bitter enough about life to not dedicate themselves to learning anything. And that's basically what you deserve, a pathetic life. It's not faithful. It's just a soulless fraud, because deep down, it's a glass door and not a bookshelf. Your 5 minutes are just something without soul and affection. Many more comments littered the timeline, all calling out the person who made the post and telling them just how bad their AI image was. But what I found surprising was that some people believed AI will do a better job and were making fun of the artist for just wasting time drawing instead of just using AI. Did you ask Studio Ghibli for permission? Because if you didn't, it only took you one day to do the same thing we do in 1 minute, and you use a technological resource that many artists consider cheating. And I guarantee that in 10 minutes your daughter died of boredom and you were left drawing alone. Was? This is such a dumb take. I almost gouged my eyes out while reading this tweet. Asking the artist if he had permission to draw in that style is pretty bold, coming from people who have clearly been using the same Studio Ghibli art style trend from AI generated images and stealing art styles from multiple artists with no form of consent, breaking every single law against copyright. Also, I'm not so sure if you realize this, but no one considers drawing on a digital tablet cheating. Well, at least in 2025 anyway. A couple of years back in the early 2010s, that would have been a different story. And the last bit about his daughter dying of boredom just proves to me that you literally don't know anything about kids at all, and you need to get off the internet and touch grass. Do you know how many hours I spent just filling up pages of a Harry Potter coloring book I had when I was a kid? I'll sit at the table for hours just scribbling and trying to fill in the lines with my mom watching, and I never for once complained or felt bored. So your take is just bad any way you want to look at it. Did you pay Studio Ghibli royalties for using their drawing style? Because they are also charging AI companies for using it too. So what happens to this hypocrisy? Really? Well, I hope they really are, because the way the Studio Ghibli art style is being used and abused, especially on Twitter, is enough reason for Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli to slap a lawsuit across the faces of every single AI company promoting its use. Another artist also shared an image of a drawing they made after practicing for 2 hours, encouraging other people to try out drawing something even if it's for fun. And as you would expect, the comments started calling him out for wasting his time on a drawing that AI would have done in less than 30 seconds. I can do it in 2 minutes with an AI. How about you paint me a picture of Darth Vader shaking hands with Donald Trump in the style of Vincent van Gogh? I expect it in 2 hours, just like you did with this. Also, I won't pay you. Huh? Are these people okay? AI does it faster and it's better. It looks worse than AI and I don't care. People then started taking his picture and using AI to turn it into Studio Ghibli versions, telling him he wasted 2 hours trying to prove he didn't need modern tools when AI could have done it in 8 seconds. I truly don't understand why all these people get so heated when an artist tries to make a drawing for themselves, or if a person decides to challenge themselves to learn how to draw instead of learning a prompt. It's as if for some miraculous reason, somehow drawing has now become taboo all of a sudden, and now people aren't even allowed to draw anymore since we have AI that can make sloppy images in less than 3 seconds. They're so hyperfixated on the fact that an AI can make an image in less time than an artist, and are using every single chance they get to try and convince people that their AI generated images are better than anything an artist creates in real time. Who really cares? If these AI images are so good, why do you have to try so hard to prove it? Artists are not even trying to compete with AI and are not even bothered to prove any point. The only person trying to prove a point is you. Artists make art because they enjoy the process of making something out of nothing but pure passion and the fulfillment you get from doing it yourself. Artists are not just trying to finish a drawing in 10 seconds and call it a day, in as much as that will be quite delightful. Art is a journey that teaches you patience and and perseverance, and helps you learn more about yourself than any AI could possibly ever do. You see, artists derive pleasure in the process and not the result, but you wouldn't understand that because you're lazy and lack a level of creativity that even the average 3-year-old possesses. We do not give a fuck if AI can do this in 8 seconds. We enjoy drawing. Hope this helps. Aside from 1 or 2 comments praising the AI image, every single person was calling out the AI image for how sloppy and soulless it looked, and how lazy the person who made it must be to have taken the time to go out of their way and create it. An interesting observation was brought to my attention by some kind-hearted people who watched my last video in the comment section, and also on Twitter, that the drawing from Sam Does Arts, which I happen to use for comparison to AI, was also generated by an AI model. How frustrating. To the untrained eye, a drawing made by an AI modeled after another popular artist obviously might seem to be objectively better than drawings made by a real artist, but it actually isn't. And to be fair, the disparity isn't even close. For example, here's this image modeled after the art style of Sam Does Art. As you can tell, it seems to have an understanding of what his style looks like and could potentially spit out drawings made from mimicking his work. But when you put this AI image side by side with an actual image made by Sam, you can see that it's not even close. The AI image looks extremely stiff compared to Sam's art, and it doesn't have the careful, mindless strokes and emotions that come from every single thought that went through Sam's head while he was making the painting. Apparently, this was done on a website called Prompt Hero, and I'm sure the AI bros are going to be laughing, saying, haha, I told you AI is better. See, it can replicate your favorite creator's art. And to be fair, I'll take the hit for this one. Yes, it's fairly close at replicating the Sam Does Art's art style. Is it better than Sam? Heck no, because without Sam ever sharing his art on the internet, there'll be no art to use to train the AI model in the first place. But the fact that this AI model can come close to replicating his painting is truly insane and scary at the same time. It's frightening just thinking of all the loopholes and ways scammers could actually use this to manipulate people and take their money from them. This should clearly not be allowed. Sam needs to lock in and sue for real. But unfortunately, Sam isn't the only artist who has had their work hijacked by the plague of AI enthusiasts, as other artists have also shared their concerns after seeing people feed their art into AI and then trained the models to be able to create similar versions of their work. And I still don't even know how any of this is considered legal, because to me all this just looks like plagiarism if you have to use an artist's work to create an identical replication of the same style using the artist's name. I don't know, man, it all seems just black and white, and I hate that it's happening to artists without them being able to do anything about it. Twitter users are now making statements saying art is now accessible and anyone can turn their imaginations into reality after typing a few prompts, and further shitting on artists, telling them to get a day job or level up their art, since apparently AI has raised the bar for art so high, so the expectations of the average artist is high level art because they're competing against AI models that can do better. And I'm not making this up when I tell you I lost brain cells just making this video. It's as if they somehow want artists to respect them because they learned a new prompt and know how to type in a few words to generate a shitty image.
I'm tired of not being respected as an AI artist.
You still making that typing art?
This artwork alone is a culmination of 100 hours of AI output.
Looks easy enough to me.
Bro, then you try. The challenge was on, so I needed to find a neutral party to give us a prompt and judge the end result.
New York, but on Mars.
I like the top left the most, so we're gonna upscale that and submit that to the judge.
New York City on a red planet in another universe, surreal photorealism, view from a spaceship floating by, swag.
And now we wait.
This is the hard part, guys.
Now it is time to do our final result with our unbiased judge.
2 different takes. I do like the left. It looks too earth though, so I'm gonna go with the right. Because it's more...
AI art is not so easy after all.
Newsflash, we're still not going to refer to you as artists. As the great Miyazaki said, whoever creates this stuff has no idea what pain is. If you really want to make creepy stuff, go ahead and do it. I will never wish to incorporate this technology into my work at all. I strongly feel that using AI is an insult to life itself, which is why it's no surprise that studios are now calling out the Studio Ghibli art trend and are seeking to take legal action against the developers for alleged unauthorized copyright infringement and shifting the Miyazaki art style. While AI prompters are desperately seeking new ways to administer their horrid images using softwares that make it seem like you're drawing and mimicking every single form of making art except actually trying to make art, others are fixing pictures of artists and making them pregnant because the artists showed themselves drawing instead of making prompts, and the AI enthusiasts got mad. A generous Twitter user, out of the goodwill of their heart, decided to spare us the torture and created an extension for Chrome that automatically filters out all the AI generated Studio Ghibli images from your timeline, so your once normal looking feed can start to feel alive again. I think a lot of these AI generated images are nothing more than just random images that end up being spread online for memes and rage bait so people can end up talking about them. This whole discourse between AI people and artists should not discourage you from ever wanting to learn how to draw or trying to improve your art and become a better version of yourself. If you're ever worried about AI replacing you or taking away your job, it doesn't matter. The world revolves around people with skills, and as long as you can teach yourself that skill, you will always end up finding a place where your skills are valued, regardless of how long it takes. So don't worry your little head about things that are irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. And if you need some more encouragement, here are some wise words from the gorgeous philtomtato.
Ghibli is more than just an art style. Just because AI can slap a Ghibli desktop theme to an image or a video doesn't mean artists are cooked. You're missing the point. The reason why Hayao Miyazaki is popular is because his values and the stories resonate with people and it inspires them. I became an artist partly because I saw Princess Mononoke in the theaters when I was little. Without Miyazaki, I probably wouldn't be an artist. I would never be philtomato. This message goes out to the people who do AI. Respect artists, man. Especially Hayao Miyazaki. That's all we want. Without people like Hayao Miyazaki in the world, there would be Ghibli-inspired AI to copy off of. And don't say artists are cooked. No, we're not. We can use AI. We just choose not to because we respect the craft. To those who want to make a proper tribute to Hayao Miyazaki, just draw it. It's going to be difficult, as it should be. If an old man like Hayao Miyazaki can draw thousands of drawings for his movies, surely you can do one drawing, right? What do you think about my tribute to Studio Ghibli down below? It took me over a week to make. It's not perfect, but it's mine.
Well, it looks like you've made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.